Hello, love. It's Kat here. Welcome into your spring season predictions. Pick a card reading. I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today, love. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. All right, loves. So for today's reading, we are tapping in to see what new seeds have you sprung upon this new season of spring. All right, so we're going to be setting the intention in these pick a card readings to see what new intentions have you set, what new things are materializing into your life, what are you calling in, what new paths and opportunities are you aligning with. All right, loves. And so if this is your first time tuning into a pick a card style reading, how this works is in a moment I'm going to shuffle this deck here and we're going to draw out 4 individual cards, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each of these cards will represent 4 different readings, which I will have the beginning of each reading linked in the timestamp in the description down below with a timestamp, and you can click on that timestamp and it will take you directly to the beginning of your reading. You can also tap on the video and it'll pop up with little chapters of the sections for when each reading begins as well, okay? And so before we get into today's reading though, I do want to just quickly talk about the astrology that is occurring on the day that the spring equinox is taking place, because this is really setting the tone for this seasonal new year and also this astrological new year, as the shift into the spring season happens the day that we shift into the sign of Aries, the day that the sun aligns with the sign of Aries, which represents the new astrological new year. So really this is like a new year that we're stepping into, and the cosmic transits are perfectly setting us up into alignment for this being representative of a new year as well. Okay, so like I said, we are shifting into the season of Aries, so happy birthday to all the Aries out there. And then we also have Mercury going direct on the same day. However, we have to remember that Mercury will be in its storm period, its shadow phase, until March 28th, all right? But during this period, it's going to take about a week, a little bit longer than a week. You'll be integrating all the lessons that you learned from the Mercury retrograde transit when it was retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And if you haven't yet read through my Ultimate Mercury Retrograde Guide and checked out your tarot scopes, in-depth tarot scopes for each of the astrology signs in that guide, I highly recommend you check that out, because it will give you deeper insight into what this Mercury retrograde transit was helping you work through and heal. And now while Mercury is going direct and through this storm phase, you'll be integrating those lessons and initiating into the new paths that we talked about in that retrograde guide for each of the signs. So I will have a link to that in the description box down below if you're interested in checking that out. All right. And then just the last thing that's also influencing this new beginning is we have the moon in the sign of Aries, and it's in its first quarter phase. We just had that new moon in Pisces. And so we are working with this new energy overall. And so this is a perfect time to set some new intentions for what you want to manifest, not only in this season, but for the year as a whole until the next spring season. And then because we're working with such heavy Aries energy, we also have Saturn in Aries. A couple other planets are going to be shifting into the sign of Aries over the next few weeks. This is also going to be a perfect time to back up those intentions, those dreams, desires, goals with physical action steps and definite decision making as well. Okay, so this is a very lucrative time to get started on new paths, new opportunities, new dreams and desires. And Mr. Kitty is in the background backing us up with that, if you can hear him meowing back there. All right, loves. But enough astrology talk. Let's get into our pick a card piles and see what we are working with today. So we are going to be drawing our pick a card piles from the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle deck. So let's see. All right, we've got pile number 1, pile 2, 3. Let's see what's pile 4. There we go, pile 4. All right. So if you want to pick without seeing what's on the back, these are our pile choices for now. If your intuition's prompting you to a specific one, go ahead and jump into your reading now. If not, we're going to turn over the cards, draw out the crystals, and see what's on the other side. All right, so pile 1, we have 29, kindness. The energy of kindness reminds us to be considerate and wise in your interactions with others and yourself, and to find the root of your love through your connection to Source. And if you prefer to choose with a crystal, we have the little pink agate mushroom here. All right, very florally little mushroom agate. All right, so pile 1, you have kindness or the pink mushroom floral agate. All right, pile 2, we have 27, intuition. The energy of intuition supports your ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the 3-dimensional reality. All right, so pile 2, you have 27. If you prefer to choose with the crystal, we have a carnelian heart. Carnelian heart here for pile 2, or intuition. And pile 3, all right, I shuffled the deck upside down clearly. All right, pile 3, you have 44, union. The energy of union activates your ability to unite your outer and inner aspects toward a state of wholeness. All right, so pile 3 of 44. If you prefer to choose with the crystal, we have this beautiful, this is a petrified wood, I believe, that's been tumbled. Petrified wood. All right, and we have 44, union, or the petrified wood for pile 3. And last but not least, pile 4, we have 40 with tenderness. The energy of tenderness activates your capacity to open your heart and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. All right, so pile 4, you have 40, tenderness. And if we take that 0 away, it's basically pile 4. But if you prefer to choose with a crystal, we have the, oh, I'm blinking. This is an agate. I believe it's called African agate, but I'm not like pink African agate, but I'm not 100% sure. But it is an agate. So we have got the pink heart agate here. Oh, I think it's desert agate. Desert agate, okay. All right, it came through pink desert agate for pile 4 or 40 tenderness. All right, loves, so if you aren't sure yet, you're still tapping into your intuition there, go ahead and take a moment. Just take a deep breath in, slow yourself down, come to center, and just ask yourself which pile, which crystal, which word is most calling out to you, and trust whatever comes up first. And then once you have clarity, go ahead and click the timestamp down below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, love. Welcome into your reading if you chose pile 1. So if you selected pile 1, you chose the card 29 with kindness, or if you selected via crystal, you chose the cute little flower agate mushroom. All right, love. So for your reading today, we are tapping in to see what new seeds have you sprung upon this new season of spring that we're entering into, of course. So we're going to tap in to see what new intentions have you set, what new paths, opportunities are opening up for you with this new season, what new relationships, connections, opportunities are finding their way to you. All right, love, so we are going to get started by pulling your tarot cards, and we're going to use this deck here. This is the Light Seers Tarot deck. And then once we pull your cards, we'll get into your messages to see what's coming forth for you in this new season and what guidance you need to help guide you through this new season. Wow, look at that. We have the 10 of Cups jumping out of the deck, and it's face up. if you want to get a card in the tarot, that is the one. That is the card of ultimate peace, happiness, joy, satisfaction. All right, we also have the Ace of Wands. New passionate beginnings. We have Seven of Pentacles. All right, let's make sure we can see the cards here. I'm so sorry. Let's scoot these up. All right, that's a little better. Let's scoot this crystal too. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get a couple more cards and then we'll get into your messages. Okay, we got two here. All right, so we have the Five of Swords and then we have the Five of Cups. All right, 2 5s. So 5s may be a significant number for you, Pile 1. Definitely throughout the next couple weeks until, you know, we enter into that next season of summer. And so with that too, I'm seeing that this spring season is definitely going to be a transitional time for you. Okay, this is the time where I feel like you've been gifted a time, like gifted a certain amount of time, specifically the next couple weeks to maybe 2-3 months. Okay, so like the bulk of this spring season, but specifically I'm seeing the next couple weeks you've been gifted the aspect of time. Okay, and so what I mean by that is Spirit showing me here with the 10 of Cups that you have a lot of beautiful things in your life, specifically when it comes to relationships of support and security and unconditional love, and also physical support. You know, like you have a roof over your head, your bills are paid, you've got food in the fridge, you have really supportive community around you, whether it's like your family, your spouse, your friends, your roommates, whatever it is. You just have like very secure means of connection in your immediate physical environments and relationships. And this is gifting you the opportunity to have time to explore something that you're very passionate about. It's almost like a seed has been planted in your heart and mind, and now you're being gifted this time to actually be able to pursue that passionate idea, that passionate pursuit that you're wanting to give a chance. And there are people that are standing behind you saying, yes, go after it. You know, they're telling you that they're taking care of the kids, they're taking care of the house, they're taking care of the dog, the cats, whatever it is. You go out there and you do your thing. Don't worry about anything else except whatever it is that you're trying to pursue and trying to discover about yourself. Okay. Now, for some of you, I am seeing that with the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups, that you may be having a bit of a challenging time wrapping your head around something. Some of you may be coming out of a period of like depression or grief or loss of something. Okay, there could be something that was, you know, taken away from you that created these emotions and mental thought patterns that were connected to a sense of loss, a sense of longing for something to be returned to you. Okay, this card on top wants to come out. Wow, we have a 0, the Fool. A new beginning. It was sticking out of the deck and I touched it and it just wanted to come out. So let's see. This is about new beginnings here. And so coming back around to what I was sharing about, you know, this loss and the mental emotional connection to it, even though this loss puts you through a difficult process of emotion and mind, it's really serving as a gift for you to have the opportunity of time to pursue something that is much more meaningful to you. And it's also allowing you to recognize the level of kindness and support and safety and security that is actually present in your life without this thing. This thing that you've lost, this person you've lost, this job that you've lost, whatever it is, it was removed from your life to show you that you really don't need it because you have everything that you need, even without that experience or connection. And now it's like a blessing in disguise because now you get to take the time to grow something new from this pain, from this heartache, from this mental and emotional turmoil. And I feel something really beautiful is going to blossom from this pain, because one, it's showing you who your true friends are in life, who your true systems of support are in life. It's showing you what really matters in life. It's also showing you how to be kind to yourself when you're going through more difficult mental and emotional experiences of loss and disconnection from things as well. Okay, and so you're learning a lot. Then remember, love, this is a process. It's going to take time, but you're gifted time. All right, you have the gift of time right now. And with that, Spirit's saying they're saying two different things here. They're saying to understand that it's okay to take time to work through the processing of this transitional time in your life, but to also know that it is a gift, and you want to use this gift to the best of your ability, to pursue and to try and connect with something new that can't be taken away from you in the same ways that this previous experience or connection was taken from you and removed from your life. Okay, so another message that's coming up very strongly with the Seven of Pentacles, a little bit of a pivot here, is this almost like a metaphor of a garden, like actually planting seeds. You know, it's spring season, and Spirit's saying, like, usually in the middle of winter, or like February time frame, you know, is the best time for planting seeds. And so Spirit's saying to look, okay, they're saying two different things. They're saying look back on what seeds you were planting metaphorically come the middle of winter, February season, end of January. What was on your mind and what was in your heart? What were you thinking about pursuing? Who were you thinking about connecting with? Okay, that is your rabbit hole that's going to lead you and guide you towards this new beginning, that's going to fill your cup back up and take the place of whatever it is that's been removed from your life. Okay, now what Spirit was actually telling me was some of you may actually, like, maybe you actually did plant physical seeds. Maybe you started a garden in February season. If not, they're saying this is the time to start an actual physical garden, and you don't have to start big. You don't have to, like, you know, do a whole big garden. They're saying just start with one plant. Okay, one is all it takes. Start with one plant the seed and start nurturing it day in and day out, because this will give you something to focus on, and it will help to be sort of like a living physical metaphor for what it is that you're going through in the other aspects of your life right now, because in some ways you're kind of starting over from ground zero. And so by showing this energy of kindness, love, and nurturing to a physical plant, a little baby seed right now, but eventually it will grow into a plant, it will grow into something more, it will blossom and bloom. You will get to grow alongside it. It will get to grow alongside you. And it will sort of be like a physical marker for what it is that you're going through right now. And they're also saying to pay attention to, you know, any time that you have challenges with the plant. You know, maybe you realize that it starts to wilt. This will be a sign to look into your own life, reflect into your own life around, you know, okay, well, where are you like overwatering things in your own life? Or maybe it starts to dry out, and then you ask yourself, okay, where am I not watering something in my life? Okay, and so it will serve as sort of like a living physical metaphor for what it is that you're going through in your own personal life as well, in connection to this journey that you're shifting onto in this spring season. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a couple oracle cards and get a little deeper insight. So we are going to pull some cards from Nature's Whispers. All right, so let's see. I just keep hearing take your time. Like not take your time in terms of like, you know, when someone says like, take your time, and they mean like, you know, be slow about it, don't rush. Spirit's saying like, take your time, like literally take it and enjoy it and make the most of it. Like claim it, claim your time. You're being gifted this time. Like you're being gifted time, and no one can take that away from you except for you. And so claim this time for what it is. It is a blessing in disguise. All right, so we have 46, gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude and appreciation. The things that you're looking at right now with a sense of animosity, with a sense of hatred, negativity, discontent, is going to be alchemized into the energy of gratitude and appreciation come the end of the spring season. All right, you're going to alchemize this painful energy, this painful loss, this disconnect into something really beautiful. And you're going to be so grateful that this experience happened to you. And I know that you can't see that just yet, but you're starting to take the steps out of it. And eventually you'll come into a point where you can look back at this time for what it truly is, which is a gift of giving you time to really tune into what it is that you actually want to be pursuing and who you actually want to be connecting with and what actually matters to you and who actually matters to you. And through that gratitude, through that reflection, that appreciation, and that deeper sense of connection with what's actually important to you and what's actually present in your life and cannot be removed from your life, you'll be able to recognize that this thing, person, place, experience that's removed from your life now was never even worth your time or energy to begin with. And so you'll be able to really look at this moment and just say, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source, for taking those things away from my life, because something so much better came in and replaced it. Or you will just say, thank you. Now I'm able to recognize that that was never meant for me. You know, of course, up until the point that it wasn't, but you'll be able to recognize that, you know, it's not meant for you to continue on, and it's shown you something so much more beautiful. All right, so we also have 41, be in service. Be in service. Be in service to yourself. Be in service to those who truly matter to you. Allow yourself to be connected to the things, the people, the places, and the experiences that are more deserving of your time, energy, and attention. Spirit's coming in and they're saying, stop seeking out people, places, experiences, situations who want nothing to do with you. If you keep calling somebody up and they keep hanging up on you, or you keep calling somebody and they're not returning your calls, they're not returning your texts, those people do not want to be connected with you. They're not valuing your time, your energy, your attention. They're writing it off. And so why do you keep trying to give them your time, energy, and attention? They don't care. Why are you caring so much to get something from someone who's not recognizing the value in you? And so this time is also teaching you these deeper lessons of how to value yourself and how to bring that focus back to yourself with a sense of kindness, with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, with a sense of love, joy, and nurturance. Come back to yourself. And to do that, Spirit's also guiding you to ask yourself, how can you be in service to the people, the places, the experiences that do want to connect with you, that do make an effort to, you know, call you up, to return your calls, to ask you what your ideas are, and to actually listen to what those ideas are. And if you feel like you don't have that in your life right now, that's okay, because this path is pivoting to make way for those people, places, and experiences to find you. And so if you feel like you don't have those things in your life right now, Spirit's saying to seek them out. You've been given this gift of time to seek out these new avenues of connection that will feel more supportive, that will allow you to nurture others, and in return, you will be nurtured by those experiences, by those connections as well. All right, so really ask yourself, where can you provide a service to others? And in turn, you'll recognize that it's also providing a service to you. It's getting you out of your head, getting you out of your, out of your woes, your worries, your concerns, and into something that you're able to nourish and nurture, okay? Something that you're able to grow into, and then eventually you'll come into this energy of recognizing that what you've lost, what's not giving you attention, was never meant to be for you. And at the point when you come into this energy of recognizing that, you realize that it's not something that you ever even wanted. And you'll kind of be telling yourself, like, why did I ever think I wanted that? Why was I so sad and hung up on this loss, this disconnect? Because what's taking its place, what's coming in to take its place in the path that you're maneuvering down now, it's just going to be so much more fulfilling. It's going to bring you so much more joy, so much more peace. You'll be actually interacting with people who are kind to you and who appreciate your kindness in return, who will want to give back to you in the same ways that you give to them as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pull one last card. Oh, I didn't get the deck out. Let's get the deck out. All right, so we're going to pull one last card from the self-awareness card deck. And these are questions, okay, cards that have questions on it. And I really encourage you to journal out your answers to these questions. All right, write it out, or just spend a few moments reflecting on your answers to these questions. All right, so let's see, what is pile one's question? What do they need to reflect on? Okay, so this is your card here. To who are you comparing yourself to right now? All right, who are you comparing yourself to right now? Who are you comparing yourself to? All right, this may be about a third-party situation where maybe you're in a relationship with somebody and you found out that there's somebody else in their life, you know, maybe a romantic partner, you find out they're seeing somebody else on the side and you were not aware of this. Maybe you had a very close friend and they started just spending more time with somebody else. Maybe they decided they no longer wanted to spend time with you. Maybe a family member was doing something shady behind your back, saying they couldn't help you, but then they turned around and helped a different family member with the exact same situation or problem. And so maybe you're caught up in this energy of comparing yourself to those other people that they're helping, and Spirit's saying to stop that right now. This experience has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the dishonest actions of these other individuals, all right? They were showing their true colors when they chose not to show you the same kindness that you've given to them, when they chose not to show you the same energy of gratitude and appreciation and service and nurturance and love that you were giving to them. They're showing you that they did not want to support you in the same ways that you were supporting them. They showed you that they did not want to be honest with you in the same ways that you were being honest with them. Okay, they broke your trust. And so stop reaching out to them, because that's just giving them permission to continue to break your trust, to continue to treat you the way that they've treated you. Give yourself space, because you've been given this gift of space and time to pursue a new path and invite in new connections that do feel more secure, that do feel more supportive and safe, so that you can have this energy of kindness, gratitude and appreciation, service, nurturance, and love be returned back into your life through new connections who will support you and who do see your value and want to just give you all that you deserve and desire in the same ways that you give it to them. Okay. This could also be about Spirit seeing like online comparison. You know, maybe you're spending a lot of time scrolling. You've got this gift of time and you're just scrolling and comparing your life to others. All right, we've got that energy of that depression, emotional turmoil coming in. It can be very easy to get caught up in this comparison loop of seeing what everybody else has that you don't have. And so that's why Spirit said to go out and get that plant, nurture it, because you're on a whole new journey to create something new, to birth a new idea, to build new relationships for yourself and with others, to invite in this energy that you've been seeking to align with. Okay, get off the phone, get out of that comparison loop. All right, so let's see what's on the other side here. What you are able to see in another is only visible because it is within you, ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. Today, stop comparing and start creating. All right, so in connection to this and what I just shared about scrolling, what do you keep looking at? What is it that you keep looking at and convincing yourself that you want? All right, what is it that you're jealous of? What is it that you're hoping to receive from this other person, this past experience? What is it that you want from it? What is it that you actually, truly want from it? All right. What do you really want from it? And when you pinpoint it, ask yourself, how does it already exist within you? And how can you show up for yourself and take action steps to give it back to yourself? How can you show yourself the same kindness that you would show to somebody else if they were to come to you and tell you that this is what they wanted or needed in their life? To feel a sense of safety, to feel a sense of love and support. How can you give that back to yourself? Okay, and the other thing that kind of took me off course with that is, what is it that you keep looking at? So if you're looking at somebody or something on social media all the time, you're scrolling, falling into this comparison trap, what is it that you're looking at all the time? And how can you stop comparing, stop looking at it, and start creating those same things? Okay, and Spirit wants me to share with you, it can be so easy for me to fall into traps of like looking at other people YouTube channels who do readings, or like looking at other people who do astrology readings and getting really hung up on like their follower count or their likes. It's such a big difference. All right, I'm a very small creator. All right, we're not affirming that anymore, but yes, I'm a very small creator, very small following in comparison to other big creators. But what does that really mean? That's just a number. It's really just a number. I know that I am an amazing creator, all right, not to toot my own horn, but this is like the energy that Spirit really wants you to embody, is recognizing that, you know, you have beautiful skills, you have beautiful knowledge about whatever these things are that you keep looking at, you keep comparing yourself to. You wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't something that you were interested in, that you were skilled in, that you were knowledgeable in, or that you're interested in learning more about, okay? Because this is talking about a new path, a new journey that you're hoping to align with, but it's also in connection to something that's been removed from your life in some aspect. And so Spirit's saying here, like, you have the means to be able to stop looking at how other people are doing things, how they're creating things, how they're sharing things. Stop looking at their following, you know, their numbers, and start just pursuing this path for yourself. If you keep looking at something saying, wow, I wish I could do that, I wish I had that, stop looking at how other people are appearing to have it and start asking yourself how you can do that, how you can pursue that. So same thing, I gotta stop watching those videos and I gotta start creating. All right, same thing. Stop looking, start doing. Because and stop comparing too, because how you do something is going to be very different from how the people you're watching do it. Okay, the world needs your unique medicine. They need your unique energy of kindness, of love, of nurturance. They need your unique abilities as to how you're going to show up and provide a service to them, okay? And to be in service doesn't mean to just do something for someone. It can also be just sharing your gift, sharing your experience, sharing your voice, sharing your story. But there could also be something that you're wanting to share with others, something that you're wanting to provide to them through actual physical acts of service as well. All right, maybe there's somebody in your neighborhood who like makes amazing brownies and they bring them around for all the neighbors to enjoy like once a week, and maybe you're like, wow, I make really good brownies, but like I shouldn't start doing that because this other neighbor's doing it. There is more than enough room for you to also make some amazing brownies too. You know, reach out a hand to that other neighbor who loves to bake, and you two can bond over that energy of baking together. That's a new system of support that you can build with one another. So stop comparing yourself and start to bridge the gaps as to how you can create a sense of connection and support in these means of comparison for yourself as an individual, but also for your community as a whole. So how can you bring it to others, which will, again, in turn, nurture yourself back. Okay, love, so it'll like bring that sense of love, kindness, gratitude, appreciation, service, nurturance back to you as you provide it to others as well, okay? All right, so Spirit took me on a little bit of a tangent there, but I hope it makes sense. I hope it resonates for you. The passion was flowing, so we had to go with it. All right, so this is your question, love. So one more time, who are you comparing yourself to right now? And how can you stop that comparison and start creating? And so right after you close out this reading, go and do that thing. Go create that thing. Go create that sense of connection. Go get that plant. Start this journey now. We're in the spring season now as I'm posting this. I'm creating this on the day of the spring equinox, so the energy is potent. It's here. It's ready. It's ready for you to claim this new beginning and to start the path of venturing away from this loss, from this emotional, mental struggle that you've been allowing yourself to embody, and to claim your time. Take your time back, and to claim it for what it is, which is a beautiful opportunity for you to venture into the depths of this new path in a way that's going to light you up with a sense of passion, with a sense of joy, with a sense of love, to provide a service to others, to provide kindness to others, and receive it back in return, because you're worthy and deserving of receiving that love, of receiving that gratitude, that kindness, and that passion in return. Leave those past connections behind you. This is time for a whole new beginning of systems of support, security, and love coming to you. All right, loves. That is it for your reading today, Pile 1. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading and the messages that came through for you, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know down below what resonated with you, what you connected with. Save it for this spring season so you can refer back to it as we go upon the next couple months of this season. All right, these messages of insight are meant to carry you throughout this entire season of spring. And so, too, loves, I do offer individual personal readings where we get even deeper into the personal messages, because this is a general public reading. So if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can send me a DM on Instagram, which I'll have linked in the description box down below, or you can send me an email and we can set up a personal reading for you where we can work one-on-one together and really get to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you're working through and need very specific guidance on. All right, loves, I'm sending you so much love and wishing you a beautiful spring season. Until next time, bye. Hello, love. Welcome into your reading to those of you who chose Pile 2. So if you chose Pile 2, you selected 27 Intuition, or if you chose with a crystal, you chose the gorgeous Carnelian Heart. All right, love, so we are going to be tapping in today to see what new seeds have you sprung upon for this new spring season that we're entering into. So we're going to be tapping in to see what new opportunities, paths, experiences, and connections are going to be coming along your path for you to invite in and walk upon for this spring season. All right, love, so we are going to get started today by pulling your tarot cards. Whoops, we're pulling up the tarot cloth there, but that's okay. We'll pull it back. All right, sorry for that brief interruption, but we are going to be pulling your tarot cards from this deck here. This is the Tarot of Tails. Tarot of Tails. So, let's see, what does Pile 2 need to know? So we're going to pull all your tarot cards, and then we'll get into the messages. Ooh, we're starting out with 10, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Let's make sure you can see. All right. The Wheel of Fortune. And we have a lot of fish on this card, which makes me think of Pisces energy, which we are walking out of Pisces season into Aries season at the start of the spring. Wow, we also have 21 the world as I say that, which the world is all about endings and walking into a new beginning. And This representation of the world, we can't quite see where that little figure is going, all right? They're walking into the unknown, into this big dark cave, and they're not quite sure what is coming up for them, which pairs perfectly with your card Intuition there. All right, so you may not quite know what's ahead on this path, but you have your Lantern, you've got your Intuition, and you've got the path in front of you. Just take it one step at a time. We also have Seven of Swords. All right, Seven of Swords, we may need to zoom out a bit. Take a look at what's going on around you in your environment. Don't be so zoomed in. Contradicting energy there, but we'll get into it. All right, we also have 19, the Sun. Wow, we've got a lot of major arcana. 19, the Sun. Coming out of the chrysalis. All right, let's get your last card here, pile 2. Okay, there it is. We have Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. All right, so let's see what's going on here with pile 2. All right, so pile 2, Spirit is honestly not giving me a lot to work with, which makes sense because your main card, your first card that we drew, is Intuition. So let's read this together one more time. This says, the energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. All right, loves. So really what Spirit is saying here is that this spring season, you are being taken into the unknown so that you can connect with your intuition and the way in which it communicates with you and the way in which God, universe, and source, whichever term you resonate with the most, how the universe communicates with you in return. Okay, and so you're probably seeing a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities maybe occurring in your life, all right? Maybe a lot of telepathy going on, which is like where you think of something and then the next moment it happens, all right? Or you think of something and the next moment somebody you cross paths with says exactly what you were thinking. They start talking about it, all right? Maybe you think of something and the next thing you know, you're driving by it, okay? Maybe you say something out loud, like maybe you're like, wow, I wish I could see a bright pink car. Next thing you know, you're driving by a bright pink car. This is your intuition communicating with you, and this is the universe responding to your ability to connect with the universe. So it's like you're learning how your relationship to your intuition and the universe around you, your environment around you, how they connect and communicate and support one another. All right. And so this spring season, many different scenarios could happen for you, because when we are learning the lessons of how our intuition communicates with us, sometimes we have to go down paths and avenues that seem very disgruntling. Okay, so this is just a cautionary. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but Spirit wants me to talk about this. As a healer, spiritual guide, spiritual teacher, I've had to walk some very challenging paths, and there have been moments, even in the previous few years, all right, I haven't quite shared about this publicly yet, but I'm working on a series where I'm going to talk more in depth about this, but even in like my seasoned moments of my spiritual path, there have been times where I did not follow what my intuition was telling me, and even like the signs of the universe were telling me. And I know now in hindsight that, I could have protected myself from a lot of pain and confusion and, spiritual attacks and things like that had I not walked those paths and just listened to my intuition. But in those moments, I couldn't do that. And it's because those experiences had to happen where I was completely ignoring, not following, listening to the guidance of my intuition, so I could learn that was my intuition speaking to me, that was the universe communicating with me, trying to protect me, trying to keep me safe, trying to prevent me from walking into something that was going to be just absolutely not for me. And so you may also be somebody who's very connected to your intuition, someone who, maybe you think of yourself as being very gifted. You are very gifted, but I mean in terms of like in connection to your spiritual path, your intuition, your foresight, your clear gifts, clairvoyancy, claircognizance, clairsentience. I'm missing a few, but the clairs there. And you're a strong one. You may come up on situations and experiences over these next few weeks where you maybe fall into some traps of not fully listening to your intuition. And this may not apply for everybody, but Spirit's wanting me to share this because this is how you develop a deeper understanding, a deeper sense of connection with your own personal intuition and how it communicates with the environment and with your future path overall. Okay. And so it's okay if you do something that goes against what your intuition was telling you, because it's teaching you how your intuition communicates with you and also how the universe connects with you and communicates with you through that intuitive pull, through that intuitive nudge. And it's going to be different for everybody. There could also be very positive experiences that you go through where, like I said, like you say, you want to see something and the next moment you see it. Maybe you're trying to manifest something and the next moment it lands in your lap and it manifests. It shows you just how powerful you are, how connected to your intuition and the universe you are through this sense of positivity as well. Okay, there's going to be a balance here. But I do... my personal bias coming in a bit, I do find and believe that it's through those more challenging moments that we get to the root of really being able to, like when we go through those more challenging moments, we're able to really root into the deeper truths and significance of being able to fully submerge ourselves into trusting our intuition, so that when it is time for us to walk fully into the unknown, when the wheel of time changes, when we have to go into the chrysalis and be born again and come out a whole new individual, a whole new person, we're able to fully trust what it is that we're feeling, even if we have no foresight into what's to come. Okay. And I'm feeling for some of you, if you do have those moments of just completely ignoring your intuition, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're going to get through it, all right? Because you also have this Queen of Cups energy here, which is about very positive emotional support and resilience and strength, and really being able to overcome those more challenging moments of emotional struggle as well, okay? So you will get through it, all right? And so with the Seven of Swords too, we were talking about this need to zoom out and really reflect on what's happening in your immediate and surrounding environments, maybe your connections as well. Maybe there are some things I'm seeing here. Maybe there are some things going on with certain relationships in your life, and on the surface it seems very positive. It seems like all is good, all is well, but underneath the surface you're just picking up on something in your intuition that things may seem a little bit off, okay? And so maybe you're going to go through this experience of just completely ignoring what it is that you're feeling intuitively, because on the surface, this individual, this person, maybe a job, this company is presenting as though everything is all well, everything's fine. They completely love you. They're showering you in gifts. They're giving you everything you could have ever hoped for. But deep down inside, something's off. They're not telling you something. They're not being completely honest with you about something. Your intuition's just nudging you. You're getting signs from the universe telling you like, hey, you should go the other way. You should call up your friends, ask them for their opinions, get a different perspective, zoom out, get a different perspective. And so if you are feeling that energy, this is your sign to zoom out, get a different perspective, call up somebody who really knows you, a third party who's not really connected to this energy as a whole, who maybe knows nothing about it. Lay out the facts, lay out what it is that you're feeling, lay out what it is that you're seeing, and they may be able to give you a little bit deeper insight on the situation and experience as well. On the other side of this, Spirit is also saying that there could be a situation or connection that on the surface it seems a little sketchy. It seems like something that maybe you don't really want to be interacting with, because everything that's on the surface is telling you this may not work out, okay? And they're saying some examples of this. This could be like you apply it at, maybe you like apply for a new job and then you show up and it's just like the whole place is a mess. Like the company has no sense of organization. Maybe people just show up whenever they want to. They come and go as they please, and there's just not a lot of order. Maybe that's not something that you're really used to. And so you're just feeling like what you're seeing on the surface, it just doesn't seem good to you. And this is just an example. But your intuition's telling you stay, stick it out, things might get better. There might be something that this new job, this new path opens up for you in a couple weeks, in a couple months down the line. And so again, you may need to just zoom out, get a new perspective, ask a friend or family member what they think, because they may be able to see things from a different lens and give you a little bit deeper insight on this as well. So really, overall, those examples, they can fall either which way on the beams of positivity, negativity, however you want to look at it. It's all just a perspective. But really, these lessons and experiences that you're going to be walking upon over these next few weeks throughout this season of spring is helping you to deepen into your trust and connection and communication of your own intuition. All right, love, so let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards from Nature's Whispers. Nature's Whispers. I just realized we started with the fish here, and we also have the fish head there as well. So somebody tuning into this may be a Pisces. This reading may be applied to a connection that you have with the Pisces. All right, we've got some cave magic going on too. Maybe somebody's going to a cave soon, going to be exploring in a cave, maybe a little unexpectedly. Something about the word itself, cave, caverns, is symbolic to somebody. We've also got the cocoon here. Metamorphosis. You're going through a metamorphosis right now. And it can be grueling when you have to trust what your intuition's telling you and not seeing it manifest in the physical on the timeline that you want it to. Okay, it can be so challenging to walk through this tunnel with just a little bitty lantern, not knowing that you're in this big, opportune cave. All right, but you'll get through it. All right, so we have 47 laughter. 47 laughter. We also have 7, amplify your positive emotions. All right, so we've got 27, 47, 7 here. We've got 7 of swords. So 7 is going to be your number for the spring season. 32, trust your own understanding. And 7s, I always say they represent this energy of being in alignment, being on the right path. Keep going, keep moving forward. Trust your own understanding, trust your intuition right there. All right, so with this laughter card, this is a message I've never gotten when I drew this card. I had this insight come through that somebody tuning in may be feeling as though they're being bullied by somebody. That's all Spirit wants to share about this. Let's see if we can get some insight on that. Okay. It did come out in this energy of amplify your positive emotions. So I'm seeing like you may be getting bullied at work. Maybe by like coworkers or a boss, or like people just not believing you, people not trusting in what it is they're saying. And I don't think that they're like actively trying to bully you. It's just there's just like this hive mindset, this collective energy where, they just like how things are. Things have always been the way that they are, and maybe you're bringing new ideas or new insight to this community of people who've always done things a certain way, and so they don't like that you're challenging their beliefs. They don't like that you're challenging the ways of doing things, and so it can be very easy for them to fall into this energy of just kind of picking on you and making fun of you versus them taking the time to really reflect on what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're asking for. But let's see what we have here. We have 3 of coins and Page of Cups. Yeah, you're feeling really overwhelmed. You're feeling as though you're like trying to climb a ladder, trying to get support and help from others, but nobody's giving you that support, that help, that energy up. attention and connection. And even though it's very it's emotionally draining for some of you, your intuition, I'm almost seeing your intuition is telling you to leave and let this go, but for some of you it may also be telling you to stay. And so again, it's going to be different for everybody, but this is what I'm talking about when it comes to those more difficult and challenging moments where sometimes we really ignore and avoid what it is our intuition's telling us, because there are going to be these fears in place, so if this is about a job, say you're at a job and you're trying to bring things up to make change, to do things an easier way, to make things better, or maybe they're just flat out doing something completely wrong and inconsiderate and harmful to you or to a specific group of people, and you're just trying to initiate this sense of change in this environment, in this community, and these mindsets that they're holding on to, and it's just a very challenging experience that you're walking through, but your intuition is guiding you through this experience. And because it's so challenging, you may be wanting to ignore or avoid what your intuition's telling you. And I'm seeing two examples here. So one, if your intuition's telling you to stay, it may be telling you to stay because you're meant to initiate this change. But it's so challenging for you to show up and keep having these people pick on you, make fun of you. And so that's why we have this amplify your positive emotions here, is to try to, Spirit's reminding you that if your intuition's guiding you to stay in these more difficult situations, relationships, connections, because you're meant to be a change maker, where and how can you focus on the things that are really positive and supportive in your life, in these environments, in these connections, okay? And what's also coming through is, have you addressed these instances of them kind of bullying you or making fun of you head on? All right, tell them how it makes you feel. Let them know how it makes you feel if your intuition's guiding you to do that. On the other side of this, some of you may be being guided to leave. All right, maybe you're not meant to initiate this sense of change. You tried it, and then this experience happened, and now you're just blatantly ignoring your intuition and putting yourself in a negative space, negative connections, negative relationships, because there are fears around this idea of, well, if I leave this behind, I'm going to have to look for a new job. I'm going to have to make new relationships. What if these new coworkers do the same thing? I try to bring something up. They don't listen to me. They don't blah, 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 blah. None of that matters. What matters in this instance, in this experience, is the knowledge, the connection, the bond that you're building with yourself and your own intuition, and how it connects with and communicates with the lessons, experiences, and connections that you make in the environment and the world around you. That's why you have trust your own understanding here, is trust what's coming up for you intuitively, internally. And if you're struggling to do that, again, get a second perspective, get a second opinion from somebody who is not as deeply attached to this experience and these relationships as you are. Okay? And loves, I'm so sorry if that is happening to you. That's not okay. It's not okay. And so that's why we had that message coming up around needing to address it head on, like Spirit saying, we understand that you tried to initiate this energy of changing something, they didn't like it, and so now they just kind of fall to maybe sarcasm or picking on you, passive aggressive energy. And so it can be difficult to have to address it again in a different light through this energy that they're defaulting to, but you have to be able to stand up for yourself and let them know that this isn't okay. This card kind of reminds me of this inner child energy. We've also got the children here. And so this could be also playing out again from childhood experiences that you had, only now you're wiser, you're older, you're in a different space, you're in a different mindset, a different energy, and this is happening so that you can really tap into what your intuition is speaking to you, what your inner child is speaking to you, and actually be there for them and stand up for them in the ways that you would have wanted your adult self to stand up for you when you were that little child, getting made fun of, getting picked on, getting laughed at for something so little that you said, or something, an idea that you had, and maybe it wasn't little. I apologize for that too. You know, maybe it was something really big, something beautiful, because what you share, your ideas, your aspirations, your opinions, they do matter, and they are worthy of being seen and of being valued, even if they're not accepted in terms of like making actual change. But they do deserve to receive acknowledgement and some sense of support. Okay, they don't deserve to receive this energy of laughter and what's the word, like conviction. Okay, they deserve support, acknowledgement, and a direct answer of yes or no, and that's that. You know, it needs to go no further than that. All right, so if it has gone further than that, address it. And then choose, again, just a reminder here, to focus. If you're being guided to stay in the situation, your intuition's guiding you to stay, to be that change maker. Choose to focus on the positive things. Amplify what's positive in your life by giving those elements your attention. If people are making fun of you, they don't respect what you're saying, what you said, stop giving them your attention. Give your attention to somebody who does get excited when you show up to work, when you show up to the office every day. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and pull our last card now. Love. So we're going to pull one more card from this deck here. This is from the Self-Awareness card deck. And these are questions which I highly encourage you to journal out your answer to this question, or to at least reflect on it for a few moments with yourself. So we chose this one because it flipped over. So we have, where can I create more space? So where can you create more space? Where can you create more space in your life? And this may be something that you need, all right? Maybe you're getting too caught up, too wrapped up in this energy of taking on other people's energies, taking on their thoughts, their opinions, their influence. And where can you create more space to just be still with yourself so you can really listen to and hear the truth of what it is that your intuition is speaking to you? Let's see what's on the other side. Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. In your soul action today, do a clutter detox of your schedule, your home, and innermost self. Make space and the clarity will come. Yeah, there's something that you're trying to distract yourself from. All right, you're going through a change right now. You're working through some possibly challenging decisions that you're having to make for yourself. Maybe battling between should I not, should I do this, should I do that, should I do this, should I do that, what if I did that, what if I did that, and so on and so on and so on. And you're just like playing out all the scenarios. Meanwhile, all the while, your intuition, your body, your heart, your mind, your soul knows the truth of what you should do. But the only way you're going to come into that answer, come into that truth, come into that wisdom, is if you take a step back and give yourself time and space to really tune in and listen and just be. Rest is productive. I heard that today somewhere, and I feel that's important to your reading here. Rest is productive. You don't have to spread yourself thin and keep trying to do all the things. You don't have to keep trying to people please, make everybody happy, make everyone agree with you or like you, all right? And your intuition is probably steering you away from that to help you heal this people-pleasing energy and to help you just come back into yourself and to choose for yourself and to really listen to your own intuition and decide what's best for you versus what people think is best for you or what you think is best for other people. It's okay to be a little selfish in this moment and to choose the path that is best for you moving forward. All right, each of these cards, except for this one here in the laughter, is individuals. All right, and this one was about other people and this energy of negativity a bit. And this one, the Wheel of Fortune, is about shifting, change in the wheel. All right, things are changing. And so you may be changing communities, maybe changing from this collective hive mindset into a new mindset, trying to make change, trying to decide upon a new path for yourself and what's best for yourself moving forward, and maybe moving towards people who are more like-minded with you, who have like similar connections to you. But it may be challenging for you to really know and decide what the best path is to approach and get to those new communities, and to maybe even leave behind these older communities, because you haven't allowed yourself to take time to just be with yourself and to just listen to the truth of what's really rooted down in your intuition already. So Spirit's saying you already have the answer. Just need time and space to be still, to be with yourself, so you can hear and receive that answer, and then to be brave and to venture into that cave, to venture into the unknown, to come outside the cocoon you can't stay in it forever, and to see this whole new world for what it is and what it wants to provide you, and the path that it wants to allow you to venture upon. There is something better on the horizon, and you do deserve it, and you are worthy of receiving it. All right, loves, so that is it for your reading today. So we'll do one more time. Where can you create more space? All right, we'll leave you with that question to reflect on. Where can you create more space to just be with yourself and honor and listen to your intuition? All right, loves, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments down below what resonated with you. Let me know who's bullying you so we can kick them in the tush. All right, because we don't stand for that over here. All right, even though it may be a lesson, we don't like that. All right, so stand up for yourself, or ask others to stand behind you in what it is that you're trying to initiate change with. All right, loves, but just know that I'm sending you so much love and healing energy as you work through this time of coming into this deeper acceptance and acknowledgement of your intuition. And I'd love to hear from you how this journey is going for you, and if you would like deeper insight, or you'd like to work one-on-one so we can really get to the root of this energy and get more specific guidance for you as an individual, then I do offer one-on-one sessions. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram, which I'll link in the description box down below, or you can send me an email, which will also be linked down below. All right, loves, once again, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed spring season. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 3. If you chose pile 3, you have the card 44 with Union. The energy of union activates your ability to unite your outer and inner aspects toward a state of wholeness. And if you chose with a crystal, then you chose not really a crystal, but petrified wood here that's been polished and tumbled. And so we're going to set your card aside, and we're going to start by pulling your tarot cards. And today we are tapping in to see what new seeds have you sprung upon in this new season of spring. All right, so we're just going to tap in and see what new intentions, what new opportunities, what new connections have come your way for this spring season, and what type of energies and opportunities will you be working with over the course of the next couple months as we are in the new season of spring. And so we're going to start by pulling all your tarot cards, and then we will get into the messages of guidance that you need to receive today. All right, we'll take that star card right there on top. All right, so I was going to say, with this Union card coming out, for some of you, this may be about relationships and connection to another individual, but not necessarily. This could also be about you coming into union with a dream or a path, destiny, life purpose, something. There's something in your life that you're creating a sense of synchronization with, something that you're creating harmony with, okay? All right, but let's take a look and let's see what it is exactly that we're unionizing here. All right, so you have the Queen of Spring, and she is brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. And she says, believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. Yeah, I'm really picking up on this energy of creating a sense of balance with the Union card, and then the Queen of Spring is confirming that as well. Okay, you also have 17, the Star, and this card was on top when all those cards fell out. This one jumped out of the deck for you, and this says, look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. We also have 14, balance. Wow, look at that. Another confirmation of balance. Take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Okay, and this is the Justice card in traditional tarot. And then we also have 10 of Summer. An emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. And your last tarot card here is the Ace of Winter, Ace of Swords. This is the 10 of Cups, okay? And the Spring is Wands. So this says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Okay, so since your reading is highlighting this energy of balance, I am getting kind of not like mixed messages, but like a mixed energy here, where there's going to be like almost like two sides to the same coin, you know, like where you're like trying to create this energy of balance within something. So when I share the messages today for your reading specifically, they may sound a little bit contradicting, and that's because that's kind of the energy that you're in right now, is where you're trying to bring a sense of balance to something, but it's like you're trying to bring that balance in by seeing both sides, shifting your perspective, seeing that, you know, all things have a negative viewpoint, all things have a positive viewpoint, weighing the pros and cons of a situation. They exist in all situations, all experiences, and connections, okay? But you do have very positive cards here with the 10 of Summer, Queen of Spring, and the Star. And so I feel as though here, this spring season is offering you a chance to get out of any energy that has been keeping you from looking at situations and connections from that more negative light, from that more like daunting perspective, okay? So it's almost like the wheel is turning. You know, I was wondering if we were going to get the Wheel of Fortune here, because it feels like that Wheel of Fortune energy where the wheel is turning, and this Ace of Winter is showing you that you have this opportunity to finally see things from a different perspective and to see the truth of the situations and experiences that you have been working through, that you've been processing through over the past couple months, maybe even years, okay? So I'm really seeing that some of you may be coming out of a period of maybe like depression or a bit of like isolation or disconnection, you know, leaving this energy of seeing things based on the energy of your own perspective versus kind of allowing yourself to see them for what they really are and what they really were and what they were offering you and what they were teaching you, and being able to take that information and to grow from it, to learn from it, and to move forward into a new perspective that is more inviting of the energy of union, of harmony, of positivity, of joy, of peace, of trust. Okay, trust is the word there too, you know, just trusting that the things that you desire, the things you've prayed for, the things that you've hoped for are available to you now. And I'm also seeing that you're coming into this awareness that they've essentially always been available to you, okay? So Spirit's wanting me to share this example with you that I've shared before in some readings here, but with the Star card coming out in connection to your overall messages here, pile 3, there's this energy where it's like you may have been feeling really down and negative over the past couple weeks, couple months, years, because maybe there were some things that you were really hoping to call into your life, things that it's like the grass is always greener. There's like something that you really wish that you had, but it just would never come in, no matter how hard you tried to make this happen, to manifest it, to attract it, to maybe like put in applications for something and just not getting the calls back, no matter what it was. Spirit's saying it's like it was always available to you and it was always present in your life in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so I'm going to give you the example here with like, say, a dream home. Say you're wanting to call in and manifest your dream home, very specific home that you're wanting here. And no matter how hard you try, no matter how many times you like fill out the applications, put in offers, you're constantly getting decline. Meanwhile, all this time, you were living in a home. It may not be exactly the quote-unquote dream home that you're hoping to live in, but you were living in a beautiful home that was supporting you, that was providing you with the energy of shelter, the energy of safety. It keeps all your belongings safe, it calls in this energy of things that you need to make sure that you take care of that home that you're in. But your perspective was just like, oh, I'm not there. I want to be there. And so you were never able to, because you were never able to recognize that you already had what it is that you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to actually attract and receive, you kept getting a pushback. You kept getting that block because you weren't recognizing that you already have it in some way. Okay. And now Spirit's giving me this example with like applying for something. So say it's your dream to become a singer, okay, and so you're like applying to do all these gigs at different locations, restaurants, auditoriums, things like that, like events. You kept putting in all these applications and you kept getting declined. But then you get declined, but then you maybe stop singing. You would be like, oh well, I guess since I'm not going to be performing for people where I want to be performing for them, what's the point? Maybe I shouldn't sing anyways. But all this time you had your voice, you were able to sing, you're able to use it, and you may not have been getting accepted into the spaces or the places that you dream of and hope to present your voice to, but you still have the ability to activate and use your voice and to maybe just, sing it for your friends and family, sing for yourself, sing for the animals, sing for nature. There's so many other ways that you could utilize this gift that you have with what you have now and develop a sense of appreciation and positivity for it. And so whatever it is that you've been like fighting to get towards, fighting to receive or attract or call into your life, Spirit's asking you to recognize how that already exists in your life now. Even if it's not exactly what you're hoping to manifest or connect with, it does exist in your life in some way, shape, or form now. And they're asking, are you able to show appreciation for how it is in your life now, how it is existing in your life now? And if it's something that you're being called to co-create with, in the sense of like the example of singing, how can you continue to practice and show up for yourself in those ways with what you have now? Okay, and then from there, it will grow and grow and grow outwardly, and eventually you'll be able to call in and actually attract and align with those quote unquote more fulfilling experiences. But Spirit's saying that as you continue shifting your perspective and appreciating the things that you have now and working with the tools and resources that you have now that are available to you now, you may soon discover that it was never really about that actual end desire. It was more so about you coming into this acknowledgement and acceptance that you already have exactly what you've been asking for. Okay, so you're going to be going through a big perspective shift this spring season. You're going to be going through some really beautiful experiences that help to really like kind of shift the wheels in your mind and in your perspective here to help you see that you do have everything that you need and desire to create this sense of union and harmony and balance back into your life, back into your being now. Okay, so some of you may be asking about love and relationships. And so if you're trying to call in a romantic connection or even friendships here, but romantic connection is heavily being highlighted with this 10 of Summer and the Union card, of course. Same thing, Spirit's asking you to recognize where in your life are you able to provide yourself with the energy of what it is you're hoping to receive or attract from a romantic partner. And same thing, once you start providing yourself with that energy or recognizing how the current relationships in your life are giving that energy to you, then you'll naturally call in the individual that you're wanting to align with, okay? Or the type of romantic love that you're wanting to align with and connect with, okay? All right, let's see if anything else comes up for you here, pile 3. Okay, Spirit saying, talk a little bit about the numerology here. So we have some 4s. 4s represent this energy of growth, support, death, and rebirth. You're going through a bit of a death of ego here, and you're going to be reborn with being able to see things through a new perspective, new line of sight. All right, it's like the world is going to be all in color again. It's going to be vibrant. It's going to be poppin'. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to be excited to be connecting with the things that have always been available to you in a new light, in a new way. All right, we also have 10 here with the 1. So this will, 10 comes down to the number 1. So we've got 1s with new beginnings, new perspectives, new shift and identity, new spaces of awareness. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. So we're going to pull from the Nature's Whispers Oracle. And let's see what messages do we need to receive from Nature's Whispers. All right, so Spirit had a lot of examples for you here, pile 3. So apply those examples to your own life. Think of the things that you've been trying to receive, that you've been trying to call into your life, and ask yourself, how does this already exist in my life? Or how can I connect with what it is that I'm wanting to do right now in this moment? Because it is already available to you. And if you have something in your life, like you're trying to manifest something that's like more physical, can you recognize where it already exists in your life, even if it's not exactly what it is that you're trying to call in and manifest and align with? It already exists in your life in some way. And can you recognize that it exists, acknowledge it, and give it appreciation for already being present in your life? All right, so we have 20, higher ground. Yeah, just confirmation here, seeing things from a higher perspective, kind of lifting up your perspective, zooming out, getting that ego vision, seeing things for what they really are and as they really are, not getting so hung up on yourself and stuck in your own energy of defeat. All right, we're coming out of that. We also have 39 with clear endeavor. All right, somebody may be getting some snow if you live in a cooler climate. If you're up north, you may be getting some cooler weather coming in unexpectedly. We also have 6, the big picture. Wow, these are just confirmations. Seeing the bigger picture here, seeing things for what they really are. Finally gaining the clarity that you've been seeking, that you've been fighting to receive. It's like somebody is coming in and giving you a miracle healing of your mind, of your perspective, and you're able to see the truth for what it really is. And it's just so enlightening. Like, you're going to be deeply enlightened. And that's what this energy of union is all about. Some of you may actually be, I have not talked about this in quite a while, but when we think of union in the spiritual community, we often associate this with the twin flame path, sacred union path. And so some of you may actually resonate with the twin flame path. If you don't, that's okay. But essentially, the point of the twin flame path is, people get hung up on this idea that it's about another individual. It's about you coming into union with somebody else outside of you. But the purpose of the twin flame path is actually to come into this energy of union with yourself and your immediate, you're like coming into union with yourself, your soul, in connection to like how you show up and unionize with the universe around you and your divine life path. And then that's when you call in and attract your sacred union mate, your twin flame, and then you come into union together and you fulfill your divine mission together here on earth. Okay, but that may not resonate with everybody, but Spirit's just saying, you know, some of you may be on the twin flame path and you're coming into that sense of union with yourself. And as you come into that energy of union with yourself, you're able to see the path forward very clearly, and you're receiving the downloads as to what your divine life purpose is, and you're finally taking the steps to move forward and being able to fulfill that life purpose with the action steps, with the sense of appreciation, with this energy of unconditional love and service for yourself and for others. Like, see here, she's kind of zoomed out and she's given all this love to the world around her. She's beaming the love to the world down below her. And so this deeper sense of awareness that you're coming into, this clarity that you're gaining, it is wiping the slate clean from everything that you have just gone through in terms of being on the other side of that wheel and seeing things from a very negative viewpoint, seeing things from a sad viewpoint, being in that energy of just feeling down and defeated and depressed. And now you're coming up on the other side of it and seeing that energy for what it really was, and recognizing that you had the tools all along, and it was you that was essentially kind of giving your power away through the perspective that you were holding towards everything in your life and everyone in your life. And you're claiming that power back, you're calling it back in, and now you're able to show the world like, hey, this is what I learned on my journey, and now I'm going to give this love back to the world so that they can see what I see. Okay. And for some of you, it may not just be like that, but it's about you coming into the acceptance that you have everything you need to achieve the dreams that you've been trying to achieve, or to receive the connections that you've been trying to connect with, or to, you know, call in the experiences that you've been trying to experience and connect with. Like, you have everything you need to be able to do that, and to then, you know, share that truth with the world, whatever it is for you. So for some of you, it may not be necessarily just like teaching people about the path that you just walked, but it may be about, you know, using your voice and singing for other people. Or it may be about, you know, moving into that dream home and then, you know, making it a home that you can feel safe and fulfilled in, and you can maybe like have company over and invite them in and say, hey, you want to learn how I did this, how I aligned to this new home, and just, you know, like opening up space for others to come in and see the love and the beauty and the peace that you've created in your own life, which will then naturally trickle out into the world. Like, you'll be able to just give love to other people, and it won't be so much about yourself and you just sitting in that energy of like, why is this happening to me? And now you'll be able to shift your perspective as a whole and come into this energy of, wow, how can I make this work for me? What does this mean for me? How can I see this from a positive lens? How can I overcome this challenge? How can I provide a solution to it? How can I still connect with it even though you're getting pushback from other situations and experiences? And just recognizing, you know, how it's still available to you, and that you do have an opportunity to connect with it or to show appreciation for the ways in which it is available to you now. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and pull your last card now, because Spirit's just sending me on loops here. All right. Your reading is just very clear, very straightforward. So let's see what your last card is. And we're pulling one more card from the self-awareness card deck. And these are questions that you may want to journal out your answers to, but also just think about it, just reflect on the answers to this question for yourself. Some of you may be energy workers, maybe coming into awareness of psychic gifts, Definitely coming into the awareness of your life purpose, your life path in some way, developing a new passion, or reconnecting with an old passion. Some of you may also be like spending more time in nature, growing a garden, just because we have this like plants blooming out here. And then also here, she's kind of, you know, she's on the higher ground, she's looking down, but from that space, she's created this beautiful rose. So there is this energy of like doing some type of outdoor work, connecting with nature, growing a garden as well. All right, so let's see what your question is. So this card came out of the deck and it says, does your life have room for more pleasure and play? Yes. Does your life have room for more pleasure and play? All right, in the back here says, in what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? Your soul action for today. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. Yes. This is the energy that you're also going to be embodying over this spring season. And this is your guidance that Spirit wants to leave you with, is to not take it so seriously. That may be why you've been getting so hung up in this energy of like, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep getting pushed back? Why am I not receiving the things that you want to receive? This is happening because you may be taking it a little bit too seriously and not recognizing that you're just here to play. Earth School is all about play. It's meant to be fun. You're just learning lessons. You're just having experiences. You're just connecting with the world around you, the environment around you, other people around you, other beautiful souls around you who are also learning and experiencing same and different lessons as you. But the end of it all is that we all get to just play, learn from one another, observe, reflect, and do it all again every single day. So stop taking it so seriously. What if you just relaxed a little bit? Next time somebody tells you no, can you just relax a little bit and say, okay, I receive your no. I accept it, I acknowledge it, and I appreciate it, because I'm going to pivot and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to play. I'm going to play with what is available to me. I'm going to play with what is saying yes to me and see where it goes from there. Not take it so seriously. Don't get defeated by it. You will get through this, you'll get to the other side of it, and you'll get to zoom out and see the higher perspective of it all and why it has happened the way that it's happened. And it's happening to help get you into this new perspective of seeing things for the truth of what they are, and to also reconnect you with the energy of what is available to you and how you can work with that energy of what's available to you, and to also appreciate what is available to you through the perspective of appreciation and gratitude, of course, but also through the lens of appreciating it through play. Okay. And so Spirit's saying, what we mean by that is, if somebody tells you no, so we're going back to that example of singing here, if you put in an application to go sing at a venue and they tell you no, we don't have any space, or, whatever, they tell you no for whatever reason, then you go home and you say, well, you know what? I'm going to sing for my neighbors. Instead, you're going to go play and you're going to sing anyways. Or you're going to go home and put on a concert for your family at home. You're going to be able to see that just because someone tells you no doesn't mean it's a definite no, and that you have to completely stop what it is that you're trying to do. There's still opportunity for you to experiment and to play with what it is that you're trying to receive and achieve, what it is that you're trying to connect with and practice and share with others. There's still opportunity. Okay, love. So you've got some big lessons that you're going to be working through this spring season, but it's a really beautiful journey. It's a really beautiful path that is just helping you to tap into your own intuitive energy of recognizing why these things are happening for you and how you can turn them around and create a beautiful, more positive, uplifting experience out of them. Alright, love, so that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know if this message resonated with you. I'd love to know if the examples I shared is something that you're going through, or what is it specifically that you are shifting your perspective on in your life. What is it you've been trying to manifest or connect with that just has been kind of beating you down, and how are you shifting that awareness now? How can you see that this is already available to you in your life? Where is it already available to you in your life? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to be of support to you as you work through this journey and this perspective shift. All right, loves, thank you so much once again. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed spring season. Until next time, bye, loves. Hello, loves. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 4. If you chose pile 4, then you selected the card number 40 with Tenderness. The energy of tenderness activates your capacity to open your heart and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. Yes, so we're going to set that aside. And then also, if you chose with a crystal, you selected the agate stone. All right, the agate heart stone. So I'll also set this aside here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by pulling your tarot cards. But just to reiterate, we are tapping in today to see what new seeds have you sprung upon this new season of the spring season, of course. So what new intentions, what new paths, opportunities are you aligning with and inviting into your space as we step into this new spring energy? All right, so what seeds are you planting? What new connections are you calling in? So again, we're going to start by pulling your tarot cards, and we are using the Cozy Witch Tarot deck, and we'll get into your messages. All right, so with this Tenderness card, I'm definitely, picking up on this energy that this season you are being invited to be gentle with yourself, to be kind towards yourself, and gentle and kind towards others. We never know what somebody else is going through, and sometimes it can be very easy to also downplay what you're going through, but just know that you don't have to do that. If you're going through a difficult time, it's okay to let others know that, and to invite them in, and to let them know what you're going through, and to just allow yourself to share the space, to share the energy. Even if, we kind of we kind of live in a society that's very individualized, but we are not alone in this journey. We don't have to remain isolated just when things are going difficultly, a lot of the time in our society, we say, if things are going great, then you can step out and connect and share that with others, versus if things are bad, there's this pull to kind of pull back and stay within yourself and not let others know that things are rough, things are hard. And so Spirit's just guiding you to remember that even if things are difficult and challenging, it doesn't mean that you have to hide away or shy away from others. It's okay to take up space and let them know that things are a little bit challenging, and to ask them if they can be a little bit tender, kinder, and gentle to you. And then just a reminder again to offer the same to others. We never know what they're going through. So just remember that. Okay, so let's see what your tarot cards are here. We have 4 of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. All right, we also have 21, the World. Yay, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. All right, I think the World came out in, I want to say pile 1's reading, but it might have been pile 2. So if you're drawn to pile 1 or 2, and if you see that World card there, you might want to check it out if you were drawn to one of those 2 readings. All right, we also have the 2 of Cups. Some people are like the pumpkin to your spice. Okay, we also have the King of Wands. Shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. And we also have the 10 of Cups. This is a popular card today. This came out in pile 3's reading as well. And this one says, okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So I feel here that you are going through a slower time period in your life. I feel that you're coming to the end of a cycle with the World card here, and you may not quite have direct clarity or confident clarity as to what's going to unfold next upon your path. But there's this subtle energy coming in that's saying like you're okay with that on some level. Okay, there may be a part of you that like wants to go back into this chapter that has been closed out of your life, this chapter that you're closing out now. There may be a part of you that wants to go back and like relive things or try things a different way, but you know in your heart of hearts and in your mind that that chapter has closed. It's come to a completion and you can't go back to it. And then there's this like subtle energy of you also just kind of reflecting on, you know, what's next. But you're just, I feel that you're very intuitive and you're very much in this awareness that you're in a space of stillness, you're in a space of tenderness, of slowness, and just like this energy of contemplation in regards to what it is that you've just closed out, what it is that you've just left behind. And so there is this need to really give yourself time and space to just reflect on and process that, and then to also just kind of enjoy this moment of having the time that you have. This message is very similar to, I think it was Pile 1's reading. So the World card may have come out in Pile 1's reading. But it's about like just giving yourself this time that you have to just enjoy it for what it is. You know, if there's something like with the 4 cups here, it says treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. You know, if there's something that you've always wanted to buy for yourself or something that you've always wanted to experience for yourself, and maybe it costs a little bit of money, this is your sign to treat yourself to that, to kind of celebrate where it is that you are now in life and to celebrate the closing of this chapter that you've just closed out, because it doesn't feel like it's something that you're closing out with a sense of regret or negativity. It feels like you're closing something out with a sense of celebration, with a sense of excitement. So maybe like a graduation or retirement, or like you're moving somewhere you've always wanted to move to, and you're just getting familiar with this new space and this new energy and new time in your life of having completed a big chapter, and now just learning how this new life of stillness and peace and softness is going to go for you and what it's going to offer and provide to you. So the other message coming up too with the 2 of Cups is to, you know, just kind of go out with friends, go out with family, and, you know, just have a cup of coffee and just kind of enjoy being present with the people that are around you and creating and cultivating just like good bonds with the people that you're connected with. And so it just feels like a very straightforward, simple message here for you during this spring season, where you're just going to be kind of vibing, going with the flow, taking it one day at a time, because you have the ability and the means to do that now. And you're just really embodying this energy of tenderness. Let's see what else comes through here, because we have this King of Wands, 10 of Cups. I just really feel like you have gone through so much in your life to get to this point that you're at now, that you're able to really kind of like, you know, light your own candle flame and shine that light outwardly for others to see, for others to witness. Like you're the one that's bringing the rainbows, or the one that's spreading the rainbows. You've gone through the phases of being in the cocoon, and now you're out floating like a butterfly, spreading your magic all around the world. Like you are that butterfly that gets to like just fly from house to house, person to person, and just gracing their presence with your magic and your like mysticism. I almost see you as like, you know, you just maybe go out to the store and you cross paths with somebody who's having a really rough day, and you just get to offer them your sense of tenderness and gentleness and guidance, and just kind of get to be the person that they needed to cross paths with to inspire them or to let them know that everything's going to be okay. So it's almost like embodying this energy of being a wise elder, or being like a guide, a healing guide. But really, I'm picking up on like this wise elderly energy. Even if you're not, you could be really young and you just have just a very vibrant healing presence about you. A lot of wisdom. You may have been told by other people that you're an old soul, and you just have this really beautiful grace and natural energy about you that helps to influence and show others that there is still light in this world, there is still good people in this world, and you're the one that's like going out there and showing the world that just through your presence alone and the connection that you offer to them when they are in need of that. So really beautiful energy that you are bringing forth to others and the world around you and your direct community in this spring season. Pile 4, thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy and to just read this energy that you're going to be presenting and really connecting with and fully embodying over these next couple months. I really feel like there's not much guidance here other than, what we talked about with the tenderness. So for some of you, this may just be confirmation. And then just also, the guidance, if there's something you've always wanted to buy, allow yourself to buy it. If there's someone you want to go out for coffee with, go out for coffee with them. I am seeing here that some people may be coming out of the closet in some sense of the word. It doesn't have to be just about your sexuality or your preferences in terms of romanticism. It could also be like just things that you have kept held within yourself about your own personal identity, things that you enjoy doing, things that you enjoy practicing that maybe seem a little taboo or, not societally accepted on a grand scale. But come this spring season, maybe you're kind of coming out of the closet and sharing with others that this is something that you really enjoy doing, this is something that you love to practice, and it's something that you're very skilled at and very knowledgeable in and wise in. And we have 344 on the clock, which is representation of the energy of growth. And also your number here is a 4. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles too. So yeah, you're going through like this kind of growth spurt of allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are. And by removing that mask and kind of stepping into the light, stepping out of the shadows into the light and shining your light forward, shining your truth forward, and providing yourself with this gentle energy of acceptance for yourself, you're allowing others to also invite you in and accept you as you are. And it's going to hold up a mirror to others and being able to show them that they can also embody their true, authentic selves as a whole. They don't have to hide anymore either, and they can come forth and be honest and forthcoming about the things that they also love to practice in their own private spaces as well. And Spirit's saying with that too, if you resonate with that, start small. Start small if you haven't already. Like maybe you've never told anyone at all. Start by telling like a stranger at the grocery store, like, oh, I love to do this in my spare time, because, it's no harm, no foul if they don't acknowledge that that's something that you love to do. And then just kind of, see how you feel. Don't tune into how they're responding, but really feel how you feel in opening up and speaking your truth outwardly to someone. Now we have 345, of course, it's the next number in the countdown on the clock, but 345 is about taking those small steps to getting yourself along the path. So, if there's something new to the world, something that you've kept hidden within yourself, but it's new to the world, it's new to you in terms of sharing about it, speaking outwardly about it. Start small. Start by telling a stranger, someone that you don't really know, just in passing. You're at the grocery store and you ask someone, how's your day? And then they ask you back. Let them know, like, oh, well, today I practice this thing that I like to do in the privacy of my own home. You don't say all that, but, just tell them, like, oh, I practice this thing that I do. And just see how it feels to share that with somebody. Someone that you don't know. Another thing that's coming up in relation to that too is to seek out communities where this is already happening. Okay, so maybe you're doing something that, communities exist around it. So maybe like you're practicing a specific form of spirituality or like a religious practice, seek out those types of communities in your town or city or state, and allow yourself to go and just see how you feel being in the presence of other people who are also participating in those things. You don't have to share with them that, you've made definite decisions about this. You could say you're just exploring, you're just learning, and just see how it feels to start opening up in those ways. All right, loves, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. Okay, so we're going to pull your oracle cards from this deck here. This is the Nature's Whispers Oracle. Let's see what this deck. Oh. Okay, so we had 2 fall out into my lap. And it looks like this one is sticking out of the deck too. Alright, so we have 7 with amplify your positive emotions. Alright, and then we have 30 with adventure. And we have 15, catch your breath. All right. So this catch your breath is just kind of affirming again, confirming what we talked about with having this moment of stillness, this moment of solitude with yourself. And you may be spending this time also getting to learn these deeper truths about yourself. So maybe there's things that you don't quite yet know about yourself, that you've kind of been hitting, that you've been keeping hidden within the depths of your own being. Okay, and another thing about this time too, in relation to you learning those deeper truths about yourself, Spirit's also guiding you to give yourself permission to go on any adventures that you've really been wanting to go on, but maybe you haven't been allowing yourself time and space to do that. And I'm realizing that with the World too. The World card is representative of travel. And so you may also be just taking this time to really travel, explore the world, maybe taking a vacation to like somewhere that has the beach, the ocean, and just kind of spending your days laying in the sand, going out on the surf, and just kind of enjoying this leisurely time. But what's coming up is that a little bit unexpectedly, you may start to uncover these deeper truths about yourself and realize and recognize that there are things that you have been maybe keeping hidden within the depths of yourself, and you haven't been allowing yourself to fully accept and acknowledge those aspects of yourself internally, but also outwardly as well. Like it's just something that, when somebody mentions it in passing or asks you, what did you do today? And, maybe there's something that you really practice, but you just kind of keep it hidden. You don't share it with others. You don't talk about it with others. You just kind of keep it to yourself and you keep it very privatized. But it's something that brings you a lot of joy, and it just kind of fills your cup up. And it's something that you personally consider to be a part of your identity and your sense of being. And you just haven't recognized that you keep this part of yourself hidden. And so come the spring season, you're going to be given the opportunity to start sharing this part of yourself with others, and to notice how it feels when you share this truth with others and the world around you. And I feel that when you go upon your travels, when you start going to new spaces and visiting the places that you've wanted to visit, or pursuing the investments that you wanted to make, you're going to connect with other individuals, just like I said, where you're going to be that like magical butterfly going along and showing everyone your mystical magic to them. There are going to be people who cross your path and offer you that same medicine, of course, because we always attract what it is that we vibrate out into the world. And so you'll also be attracting in individuals who can shine a bit of their light, a bit of their magic back towards you as well, to also let you know that it's okay. It's kind of like the ripple effect here. It's not just rippling outwardly, it's also coming back at her once the ripple's kind of still. And so that is going to be amplified back to you in return too. So Just as you're being tender with others, they're also going to be tender with you. And it's a mirror fact to help you see the deeper parts of yourself, and that it's okay to share these truths about who you are and what it is you like to do, what it is you like to practice, and to give yourself permission to really align with those aspects of yourself in your outward environments as well, such as through finding those communities that we talked about, or practicing this experience out in the open, or educating others about it, sharing it with them, talking it through with them, and letting them know that it doesn't change who you are as a person, or how they perceive you as a person. None of that. And I feel that it's not really about that either. It's not about how people are going to perceive you. It's more so about how you're going to feel in being able to share these deeper truths about yourself with others, where it's just like you're kind of like allowing yourself to be free and really not caring how it's perceived. It's more so just, it's about you allowing yourself to be open and to be honest and truthful, and to allow your energy to expand outwardly to others, so they can witness you in all your beautiful magical glory and the truth of who you are. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull your last card now. So we're going to pull one last card from the self-awareness card deck. And these cards are questions, which I really encourage you to take a moment to journal out your answers to these questions, or to just reflect on the thoughts that come through, the feelings that come through when you think about this question. All right, so it says, what expectations do you have that are impossible to meet? What expectations do you have that are impossible to meet? Where do you have expectations around these aspects of yourself? And I feel that just very naturally, very organically, any expectations or limiting beliefs that you may be holding on to in relation to what we talked about today with the things that are holding you back. Wow, look at this card on top here as well. Are you afraid to be seen? I'm going to take that. Are you afraid to be seen? What expectations do you have that are impossible to meet? So where you're not allowing yourself to fully be seen and to fully be truthful with others about the things that you enjoy doing, or something that's connected to your identity in some way, I feel that these expectations and limiting beliefs are going to very naturally fall away as you move through this spring season, and as you cross paths with those people that you're destined to cross paths with, to offer you a little bit of insight, a little bit of wisdom, just the same as you'll be offering it to them. So it will be very natural, very organic. It's not something that you're going to have to really work hard at, but it's going to come up very naturally and organically because of the time, the space, the stillness that you're going to be allowing yourself to embody, because you have this time to just be still, to just surrender, to just kind of embrace and enjoy life as it is, and to do the things that you've always wanted to do, the fun things, to call up those friends, to go on that adventure, to take that long extended vacation. And so through this experience of creating a sense of joy in your life in that way, you'll naturally be able to see where you've been limiting the joy in your life through hiding these parts of yourself, not allowing yourself to be seen because of these practices or expectations of self, expectations of other, limiting beliefs, limiting thoughts, and it will just naturally fall away. You'll be able to naturally transform it. Okay, but let's see what's on the other side of these cards here. So this one says, the expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Yes. So your soul action today, be grateful. All caps. All right. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for your soul, and it is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. Yes, and so this is the reminder here. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. This is the reminder that when you start opening up and sharing about these truths with others, Remember, it's not about how they respond. It's about how you feel in taking the action and allowing yourself to be courageous and to be brave to share these truths about yourself. You're finally speaking this outwardly and owning it because it is your truth. And that should make you feel good. It doesn't matter how other people respond to it, because their response, it's not about you. It's about them. How other people respond to things, it's about them and what's going on with them. They shouldn't have any say over what you do, what you think, what you feel about your own personal life. All right, as long as it's not hurting anybody. And here it's not. This is just something that you enjoy doing. It's something that makes you feel you. It's something that makes you feel connected, joyful, excited, vibrant. So yeah, so allow yourself to speak this truth out loud in the energy of gratitude and just owning it, being truthful about it, and then recognizing how it makes you feel to own that truth. Okay, so let's see what's on the other side of this card here. Are you afraid to be seen? The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There's no more hiding. There's no more shame. There's only truth. Live naked and free. Today's soul action. What part of you do you hide so you can be socially accepted and fit in? Are you being authentic? Do you allow yourself to be all of you? What do you need to feel so you can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. Okay, so go ahead and screenshot this and then journal out your answers to those questions. Break through those restraints, break through those limiting beliefs and expectations that you hold about yourself. And know too that nobody else is holding these expectations about you. You're the only one that's holding on to them, and you're the only one that they're hurting. So allow yourself to break free of those restraints as you move through this spring season, and know that the world is ready to receive you. The world's ready to receive your magic. The world is ready to receive your truth. The right people will accept you as you are. The right people have already accepted you as you are, and they will show up in love and gratitude and support. All right, loves. So allow yourself to be seen this spring season. And again, it's going to happen very organically. It's going to happen very naturally. There's nothing that you have to force. It's going to find you. You're going to find it. You're going to find your magic. And you're going to be excited to find it and to discover these truths and to start sharing it. But again, just start slow. Start with what you have. Start with where you're at. Start with a stranger on the street. And remember to just tune into how it makes you feel and detach yourself from the responses. Because no matter what, if they respond negatively or positively, it's never about you. It's always about them and where they're at in their personal life. And sometimes when you shine your light and you shine your truth, it can irritate other spirits who aren't allowing themselves to embody their truth and embody their natural light, because they want to be able to do that too. And so the more that you continue to allow yourself to shine your light outwardly, you then give other people permission to do the same. Okay, so don't take it personally when your light kind of irritates other people who aren't living in their light and their truth. Because if you keep showing up and accepting this is your truth and standing firm in it, standing strong in it, you're telling others, hey, I can do this, so can you. All right, but do it for yourself, do it with gratitude, do it with trust, and you'll get through this. Enjoy your time this spring season, though. It sounds like you have a really beautiful journey for the spring season. You've taken some vacation, spending time with loved ones, and elevating your life to be able to come out in some way and share your magic with the world, which we are all waiting to see and receive. I'm so excited to see what you come forth with and create and share with others. So thank you so much, love, for tuning in and allowing me to create this reading for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let us know what is it that you're ready to a claim for yourself in this world? What is it that you're ready to share with us all? I can't wait to hear from you. All right, loves, I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed spring season. Until next time, bye, loves.